Hey collective, welcome to angel number 315. Welcome and welcome back. All right, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You can comment if you want, but I do appreciate the likes. All right, so I could be talking to the collective, of course, but the collective that I'm talking to, you could either be a masculine or feminine. It really don't matter. We have Empress reverse here. So either way you look at it, it's really like a kind of distorted energy, but it's not like one of those things where we're gonna get into the bashing and the making people feel guilty for being in the distorted energy or anything like that. This could be like, I don't know, you might be a man who identify as something else, could be transgender, somewhere in that LGBTQ kind of category. Or you could just be feminine energy that's going through hard times right now. Just take that energy as it resonates. But we do have this wounded warrior kind of energy here in the collective. Something here about being left out in the cold when it comes to your material possessions. Maybe it could be a job. It could be your family. Could be a house, a car. Any of the things that you put energy and you put effort into when it comes to your material things that take time to acquire and just different little things like that. You just really in this energy of you just feeling like you're not really getting what you need to get out of life. There's the need here to look at things from a childlike point of view here. With that nursery room energy, it's like a certain innocence that you have to have in order to push through this energy here or this time. So you could be feeling limited in certain areas, and it's just really important to have that childlike energy. And not a lot of people know how to transmute that energy so they can pull that energy out and use it to their advantage. A lot of people just go down a particular kind of rabbit hole where they get caught up in the whirlwind of life and just start spiraling out of control here in the situation. All right. So I don't know really who needs to hear that, but we got that unbothered energy that I told you about. And so there could be somebody in your energy who has bad habits, whether it's due to drugs or just addictions, toxicities. It doesn't even have to be anything like dramatic or drastic, right? This could also be somebody, like I said, in your energy who has some sort of addiction or toxicity, because right after that, we have fishing for comments, digging for dirt. So this is like same stuff, different day. Y'all already know. But right behind that, somebody can't move. So someone is definitely mad. While you're in this unbothered energy, they definitely feel bothered. They're intimidated, which that's not a you problem. That's a them problem, right? So there's nothing that you can do about that. I just feel the need for whoever you are in the collective to do a major detox. I don't know. Maybe there's things you need to do in order to transmute a lot of this negative energy, because picking up on people's energies, being really empathic and things like that, it'll really send you, right? Because your energy is sensitive. You pick up on a lot. And so I don't know, maybe getting out in nature or just meditating, that works too. And really just purging all of those old and negative emotions. That's what I'm feeling here. I really want to focus on the collective, but I do understand that other people play a part in it too as well, in the energy. So in the energy, I'm feeling like this mothering energy. There's a lot of mothering energy that's been coming out in the energy of the collective a lot lately. And that could be a lot of things. I feel like there's some sort of underlying hidden jealousy here in a situation. And that's where I feel like that intimidation energy comes into play also, because we have threatening, but I feel like it's more like threatened. Somebody really feels threatened because of you. It says threatened right there, and bothered. So you're intimidating somebody, but you don't mean any harm because you're in this unbothered energy, right? It's just that other people have these addictive, kind of toxic habits when they constantly look you up. And like I said, that's not a you problem. So what I've been feeling here in the energy is that there's a motherly energy, but whoever this person is, they're not a mother at all. So that's why I'm picking up on that Empress in reverse kind of energy here. Wounded warrior energy. This is somebody who been through a lot, they could be feeling left out in the cold, and they could also be projecting that energy out on you. But the main reason why people project energies onto you in the first place is because they don't have any idea or clue of what to do with it. If you that type of person that you're in the spotlight and you get a lot of looks, you get a lot of views, you get a lot of attention, period, naturally people are looking to you for energy, and that's just that on that. All right. So positive, negative emotions, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be attention on you, and that's just by default. So even when people are resonating with a more negative energy, then guess what? You still picking up on that. But I don't even think people actually realize and recognize that that's actually what's happening. That's what's going on in the situation. There's like a Virgo out here who maybe hurt you really bad, betrayed you. And I don't know if this person, if they feel like that kind of energy is normal, where they should have treated you in such a way. But they definitely didn't want whatever kind of plans that you had going for yourself, the things you were manifesting. They didn't want that to come into fruition. They wanted your plans to fall apart, and that's just really sad. That's the sad truth of the matter, but it's the truth of it. So whoever you are, I just felt like whoever this person is, they created a lot of illusions around you, did a lot of emotional manipulation as well. This is somebody who's greedy. They definitely overindulge. So I'm seeing this Virgo in the upright in this deck here, but the energy that I'm describing is more like a distorted kind of energy. And that's why I feel like this Empress energy is in reverse. But I'm not saying that this person is coming from the pits of hell or nothing like that. They could, but at this time, we just focusing more on the healing energy and things like that, because a lot of people don't know what to do with this energy. So whoever I'm speaking to, like I said, it's important to resonate in that childlike energy, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. If you have to look to other people for the energy, that's fine. It's cool to have other figures around you who are a motivational kind of energy to be able to look up to. But however, you have to realize and recognize that you can easily fall into a codependent or a toxic, devilish kind of energy, right? If it's too excessive, if you're doing it too much. And I think dealing with energies, period, a lot of people don't really, it's not their thing. It just takes so much energy, so much effort to do it. And then on top of all the other things that people do, we got smoking, we got drinking, and people just like to deal with things in the quickest way possible, right? However, you cannot cheat yourself when it comes to your health, your spiritual being. We have so many things that are going at a fast, rapid rate in this world, like fast food. If you're the type of person that you eat out all the time, that's not really healthy, right? Because food is produced at a faster rate and is meant for people who are on the go. But also, the faster that they produce it, the less nutrients and vitamins and things like that it has in it. So you have to be mindful about these kinds of things, right? There's a need to flush away life's chaos. It says embrace healthier interactions. It ain't just interactions between the people. It's interactions when it comes to your temple, what you putting inside of your body, the things that you feed yourself. I started by changing the music that I listen to, right? So I listen to some sort of alternative music. Of course, I like to listen to the music on the radio from time to time, but they play it so repetitively. It's like, what are y'all trying to do? Okay, so you have to, first thing we want to do by fleshing out this chaos is cleansing our minds, all right? Making sure that we can think clearly when it comes to the things that we need to be doing. A lot of that smoking and that drinking, it clogs up everything, make everything foggy, and it's just temporary, right? But some people use that as like a prescription on a consistent basis, as a ritual, all right? Then it says we got this broom energy here, and it says to sweep away what no longer serves you. Make room for new blessings to enter. Because we do have this precision kind of energy here. You know, with a hammer, you have to make sure you aim it just right. Because I know y'all done dealt with a hammer before, and y'all done hit that thing and missed. And I know a lot of y'all did that stuff when y'all had y'all finger right there and y'all hit y'all finger. It says a well-aimed blow is worth 100 random strikes. Know exactly where to apply your force. So if you know what the issue is, now apply the force, right? People tend to think like they have time or things like that, but your time could easily be cut short if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's just the truth. So whoever you are, there's a lot of conflict and chaos that came out of the situation when it comes to whoever this person is that was pretty much being selfish or greedy. This could be a person, you might not look at it as selfish or greedy, but if you really think about it, it was. Because the things that this person was doing, it really wasn't, they didn't show you any kind of consideration. So it was selfish in a way, right? Just like an indirect kind of way. You realize you had to close the cycle out on these people because people get to a particular age or a particular stage in life where they just feel like there's no more growing. They're not going to change. They're not going to do this. They're not doing that. They just pretty much settle in life and they're okay with how life is going and the things that they have to deal with, right? So you realize you had to close these cycles out on people in order to have a new beginning, or this is what you're realizing with this sun energy here. So we're gonna get into it because apparently somebody is fishing for comments, digging for dirts, and I just really want to know and understand what is going on with people. What's going on? Somebody's car can't move, and to me that don't really sound like that's the issue when it comes to you, collective. It sounds like that's a problem within somebody else, right? So at the bottom of the deck we got manifestation. Right behind that is transition. But we all know that with any new beginning there is a ending, and a lot of people don't like to have endings in life. Like I said, they don't want to change. They feel like they know everything, or they reached the age where I learned all the lessons that I'm gonna learn in life and there's nothing else to learn. Head ass. But I used to even have to remind my mom, in a way, you still can change. You think that you did everything right, but then at the same time, in the same breath, you would probably tell me that you do have regrets because in the past you didn't do everything that you wish you could have done because you didn't know any better. And I know it to be true because I was that younger person watching you, right? To my mom, that's what I would say. But you know, of course people want to always have this certain kind of persona, right? And they always want to be perceived a certain way, and they want to look a particular kind of way in front of people, and that's just not reality, right? So this is what we dealing with. It's a little bit of ego and stuff like that. And I don't know if people find you, like you said, intimidating, but I don't know. Maybe it's somebody here that just really didn't think that you would be able to achieve certain things because maybe they wasn't able to. So naturally people also project energy that way as well. We got poverty at the bottom of the deck. So somebody could be being called to help somebody. All right, we're gonna look into who this karmic femme energy is, what's going on with that. All right, angels, ancestors, ascended masters of the highest white light, please help me to channel these messages clearly and accurately. That our minds make all evil eyes go blind, make all monitoring spirits go deaf. With this karmic femme. All right, so I had some questions and they're getting answered. All right, so what I'm getting is that there was somebody who was behind an emperor's demise. This person sent someone in to, or they sent this person in to basically self-sabotage because they instructed this person to do things with the understanding that they would be achieving something great if they do something to another person. So right off the bat, to me, it sounds like someone was trying to get initiated into some sort of group, cult, coven, all right? But this could be just someone trying to get some information. See, what I feel is that I feel like people are tapped into energies. They don't quite know that they're tapping into like demonic entities and things like that. and they're looking for information. So these are just people like you and me looking for information. I mean, what better way to go tapping in and getting the information than going to your favorite reader, your local reader, things like that, and finding out the information. But see, here's the thing. When you do that, you're opening yourself up. You don't know what you're opening yourself up to. And people be like, well, there's nothing wrong with looking into something and getting to know something for yourself. It's true. But at the same time, you don't know anything about this realm, really, honestly. And we all have to be careful and practice good spiritual hygiene, because we don't know what people's spiritual hygiene is. So you might feel like, oh, this person seems like they're trustworthy. They got all the tools that they need in order to get the information to me. So, but then you never know what they're going to do with that information. That's like asking anybody to do your taxes, or can you process my paperwork? I got all my information, my birth certificate, my social security cards. I got all of that. So I'm going to just give it to you. Y'all definitely have to be more careful than that. And even if you're not the type of person who goes to reader, just sexual intercourse with people, different people, their energies. Some people are operated by entities themselves, and then you plug your plug into their socket, and then all of a sudden you being run and you hearing different messages, you're hearing things going crazy. And you think the word is bond. You think the information that you know is legit, and that is just, that's what it is, right? But let's not be naive, people. You know that you have to go through certain things in order to get the information that you need. It's not just going to be handed to you. Here, this is what and then there are entities that will just divulge a whole lot of information. And you have to be careful with that too, because they're giving you information, but they're also receiving a lot of information. It just goes back to the theory of putting that plug into that socket. So it's good to practice good spiritual hygiene is all I'm saying. So in a situation, you definitely are coming to the realization that somebody was trying to obtain their own form of justice in a situation. This could be you also asking for justice in a situation for being treated unfairly. Because people can make stories up all day long. As long as you go along with the program, then it gives that entity authorization to be able to use that information against you and whoever else. So the hangman is here. Maybe you wanted to get some sort of justice because you felt stuck in a situation. They definitely didn't want you to achieve more and be greater, because here we got the Four of Pentacles that's in reverse. That's that energy from that Virgo that I was picking up. Okay. And this is also confirmation of Virgo energy, Hermit. All right. So we got some blockages here. We got somebody trying to win at all costs, and somebody that's trying to get an emperor to self-sabotage. How sweet. And it's all underneath this karmic femme energy. Now, this is the type of person who will say, oh yeah, whoever you're dealing with or whoever is about to come towards you, that person is karmic. But really, they the ones that's karmic. Oh, goodness. Let's see what else we got going here. We have lust. Wow. All right, y'all. Hold on. I got some cards that's backwards here. I know what happened. All right, y'all. So we got lust. What's lust here, spirits? Right. So in this situation, we do have this Knight of Pentacles kind of energy here, right? And we see the King of Pentacles that when I split the deck, that's in reverse. Right behind that is the Devil. So whoever this person is, they were definitely being manipulated with that Ace of Swords that's in reverse energy there. So somebody was being manipulated by whoever that Queen of Pentacles is, that Virgo energy. All right. And this was to have somebody's intuition turned off, and also to be concerned, to have this spirit of being worried and fearful, things like that, to be in that demonic energy, that devil energy, to actually benefit them so that it could help lower your vibrations. So being in this King of Pentacles in reverse, that lustful energy, this person put some sort of entity on you to be in this lustful kind of energy. Or maybe you were already a conduit because you are already resonating in that energy of lust in the first place. And y'all know what lust is. Let's not try to sugarcoat things. So if you're somebody who you like overly sexual, you know that you're an emotional person, but you would rather fill that void by just having very superficial kind of interactions with people, and you do it through lust, or you do it through the things that you like. Maybe you like to watch certain things online, or maybe, let's see, you overindulge in certain other things. Maybe it could even be food. So keep that in mind. We do have this Knight of Pentacles. That's that slower moving energy. That's that energy of someone saying, all right, I'm ready to hang it up. You know what I'm saying? Then we got this Queen of Cups here with the King of Cups that's in reverse. So right off the bat, I definitely pick up that lustful energy here with the King of Cups that's in reverse. That's somebody who is an emotional manipulator. You trying to emotionally manipulate a Queen of Cups, and you're not stable, you're not secure, none of that stuff, with the devil right behind you. What's going on in the situation? Oh, I know what's going on. You wanted to be in that energy because you wanted this person to just accept your flaws for whatever it is. But why should this person accept that? Why? The Four of Cups in the reverse. And then whatever this plan was, I don't know what kind of idea this is, because it don't make even logical sense to me. Even though I see this Queen of Cups, this is a person who's very emotional, operates out of emotion mostly. You might think this person is all naive and soft and shit like that when you see this person in person, or that's how they present themselves to the world. But let's not get it misconstrued, because that would be naive to do, right? But whatever this was, this plan of yours actually did not work. It fell apart, right? And so now this puts you in a headspace where you're like, fuck. So now you're in this mental imprisonment, and there's blockages here, self-sabotaging behavior. Everything that Queen of Pentacles wanted is exactly what's happening. This would actually be a victory for that person. We got change here. What is change for the collective? Whatever this decision was that you had a hard time with making, it brought a lot of burden to a situation. I don't know, maybe you were not interested or in the person or a situation, or this could be a person who just didn't show any interest towards you in the situation. So Two of Swords in reverse, that stalemate energy with making a decision. It could be because of lust too, because keep in mind, when you're in that kind of energy, all you can see is whatever that rose color is. And you definitely cut your mental off when you do that. But it's a very imbalanced energy here. Imbalance, okay? With this Page of Cups, whatever this creative endeavor is. Ten of Wands, I think is heavy emphasis on that though. There's an underlying energy of the loss of 10 Pentacles here. Maybe you feel like you should have been more, like, you wanted to be more open. I guess that's what that Page of Cups is. Put a little bit more energy of emotion into the situation. And I don't know, for some reason you just could not make a decision. You was just stuck. I don't know what the burdens was. What is this going on in this situation? It was some sort of heavy illusions. You probably felt like you was being delusional in a situation, or any situation where it causes confusion. That's automatically, that's devil energy there. God is definitely more straightforward. The devil is the confusion and things like that. Then there's some sort of heartbreak energy here. What is this? That's a lot of swords. Let me see. We're going to see what entities are being used. So we got the Temperance here. We got the Four of Swords. It can make one appear like a soldier. We got the Hierophant. Transforms men with dignities, finds favor with friends and foes. So I don't know if whoever you are or a person that's in your energy, if they found some sort of clarification or something of that nature in friends or people who know you but they don't know, something like that. And then we got this Five of Cups energy, and it says reveals secrets and increases one's intellect, spreads destruction by fire. On this card, this person got a cat on their shoulder, and then it looks like the private area is a snake. When the snake is head is cut off and it's put on his other shoulder. And so that's like, what is that? What is that? Anyway, spreads destruction by fire. So someone was definitely looking for some sort of information because they were not able to make a decision. So my thing is, what was this person being told to do and what was the outcome of that? What is this? Someone was enlightened with some sort of information. What is this information? Three of Pentacles, that's in reverse. This could have been somebody not collaborating with someone, maybe because they were told not to. So what else will a collective need to know about this energy here? So your intuition could have been telling you about the situation. This is involving a Two of Cups, giving, receiving. All right. Somebody could have been saying, or maybe your intuition, your better judgment could have been saying to go ahead and have this situation with this person, but there was something else here that told you not to do it. And so there was some sort of change. That's why this change card is here, because the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. This is either somebody not giving to you. This could also be siphoning and stealing information. And we did see that card where that demon, where it says finds favor with friends and foes. So anytime you request some sort of information, you want to know something about somebody, or you're just asking for certain things in exchange for something else, or I don't know, maybe it ain't in exchange for something else, but maybe you feel like you want to level up or whatever like that. And these agreements are being made with these entities right here. So they're allowing you to find favor with people's friends and foes, right? But they can't help you with that. They might be able to get you a little bit of information that's going to get you somewhere, but it's most likely not going to get you where exactly you really want to be. This is why it's important to stay focused, all right? And stay on task, stay on track, not let nobody sway you off the path. A lot of y'all might need to go back and watch The Wizard of Oz or The Wiz. But this is some sort of energy here where Queen of Swords had to defend herself because somebody decided that they was just going to go ahead and steal something. Maybe somebody didn't even understand that this person really wasn't all that naive how they thought, because we did have that energy that came out as well. First of all, we seen that Queen of Cups, and then we saw that Page of Cups. So that's already somebody coming to you with their cup like that and their heart on their sleeve. But the thing is, where you were supposed to be in this energy, you actually wasn't. There was no exchange of energy there, and it was confirmed with that King of Cups that was in the reverse. All right. So this is stealing. This is siphoning energy and information. Anytime you come towards somebody and you trying to find out something about them, you're in that person's energy, but you're stealing it, because it's like, well, why are you taking these steps? Why are you getting these readings done? Why are you inviting this person over? Why are you communicating with this person? Why are you doing any further with this person just to treat them like shit and to, you know what I'm saying? So that's that. Then we got single, sexy, successful here. Okay, so what we talking about? I guess this is why people feel threatened, because this person may look like that or something like that. What is this single, sexy, successful energy here? Three of Wands. We got the Seven of Wands. That's 10. Then we have Seven Swords. Seeing a lot of sevens. Seven could be significant. The Knight of Cups. One more. Then we had an Empress in the upright. So what I'm getting is that a person could have told somebody that whoever this Empress, Queen of Wands person is, that they would rather be single and have options, or that's not what that is. This is, maybe that could be significant too. Let's see. There's some sort of off-putting energy here, because maybe you remember this person as being single, sexy, and successful in the past. Still kind of witchy and things like that. But maybe a little imbalance. Maybe some things not really quite coming together for a person when it comes to love. I just feel like y'all have to realize who y'all working with. What else do I need to know about this situation, or does the collective need to know? Because people tend to think that either people think A, that people's magic just don't magic, they ain't got no motion, or B, people think that all witches is the same, or all people are the same with their magic. And that's just not true at all. But let's carry on. What is this? What else do we need to know about this single, sexy, successful energy? The High Priestess is here. The Six of Swords is in reverse. The Nine of Swords is in reverse as well. Judgment is here. Then we got the Eight of Wands that's in reverse. So what I was getting was, as I was shuffling, was there was somebody who just really felt like that they knew you. And this could be the reason why someone decided to try to make somebody carry a lot of their burdens, in which this person, they did carry a lot of the burdens, right? That's that transference of energy, because people don't know how to transmute their energy properly. They decide they want to go and, let's say, sleep with somebody or be around a particular person all the time, whatever the case may be. Take some sort of risk, right? But also be in that energy of rejecting a person as well, or not utilizing your own creative kind of energy because your emotions is turned off. King of Cups reverse. All right. So it's like a situation is like exactly where you went wrong in a situation, but it wasn't really quite clicking to you as the reason why things are going the way that they're going. And then we have this Judgment here, because now you are having an awakening and you are realizing that this was some sort of conflict and chaos that you took a risk to project towards somebody. All right. And I feel like as soon as people start realizing exactly how energy works, you would definitely be more careful as to what it is that you do, how you move, how you operate. So it's giving a sense of when you know better, you do better, right? So also what I'm getting is that it's somebody here too, picking up on a masculine energy. It's somebody here that they could have been told a warning. It could have been a warning. Hey, listen. And I don't know if this person really took whoever the messenger was, if they took that person seriously, but they decided to go and do what they were going to do anyways, even with the information that was given. So it's just kind of like, why did you do that? So then you have to question yourself, why did I do that in that situation? Because I was given a warning and I didn't listen to my intuition, even though I knew better. I thought I was doing things the way that I wanted to do them, and you was doing exactly what you wanted to do. That wasn't what God wanted you to do, though. So this is where that turbulence is coming from, and that whirlwind of mental conflict and energies where you're going through a lot in your mental headspace. You don't know which way to go. You don't know who to believe. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know this. You don't know that. It leads to other things like mental imprisonments, and now you stuck and you can't think. You're having a hard time making decisions. That Two of Swords, that was in reverse, right? So all I'm saying is all of this can easily be avoided by getting on the right track, man. I don't know who you are, but I'm really praying for your success. You know what I'm saying? Because even though us as readers, we get up here and we tell people about themselves and we say, oh, well, this bitch, this nigga, that, and we going in the whole thing, right? We definitely want people to start picking it up and to succeed, right? We don't want to see people's demise. We want to actually see people succeed, because there's places and spaces that we will all like to be able to ascend to, right? And when God sends us here to do work for the people, we can't just live in this world as if we only live in the world by ourselves. We definitely have to be able to grow, heal, and evolve with each other, guide and teach each other, and make sure people have an understanding. It's not about watching people fall. It's not about kicking them when they down. That's exactly what we don't want. So all of that energy where people feel like they gotta stomp on the next person to get ahead, or they gotta take a person's ideas, or they gotta do this and do that. No. The exact opposite, quite honestly. And we always here to remind you and tell you, listen, these risks that y'all be taking be that conflict and chaos that be landing y'all straight in jail, right? Up under some sort of judgment. But at the same time, a lot of people do have to learn through their actions. People can't just learn by always being told or somebody writing it out for you or anything like that. So people have to have a more hands-on learning kind of experience, and it's just what it is. People might be mad or whatever the case may be. People can sit up and try to say, oh, it's your fault that I'm going through X, Y, and Z. But the truth of the matter is it ain't nobody's fault. We all got here on this earth some sort of way, right? And now we here, and there's no book on it. Before you came across with that person, like, what was you doing? Like, okay, so now you know the knowledge that you know, and you know what you gonna do with it. You have to get in touch with yourself again. So a lot of times in these situations, you have to continue to resonate in that single, sexy, and successful kind of energy so you can get to the promised land, get to exactly where you're supposed to be, those pearly white gates, or wherever it is that you're trying to go, right? Because it is a struggle, but at the same time, you got to make it make sense. Okay, just go through struggles just because you know, I mean, you know, like, don't just keep going through struggles. Like, don't expect life to be a struggle at that. Okay, those were the messages. Until next time, peace. Make sure you do what God told you to do. I'm gonna do what God told me to do.